Welcome back. So in this Read So Lit, look at my sleeve. But anyway, welcome back, guys. In this Read So Lit video, I'm going to be talking about the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman by Ernest. I keep wanting to say, wait a minute, girl, what's wrong with me? Anyway, stay tuned, y'all. I just lost my damn mind. What is up, everyone? It's me, Troi, and I'm back here with another FauxCast video, a fake podcast, a fake radio. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in and joining me on this journey here. So, picking up where I left off in the last video regarding #ReadSoLit, what I've been reading, I ended up putting Octavia Butler's Parable of the Talents aside as a DNF. You know, it is what it is, shawty. I got plenty more books to fill that space. Nothing bad about it. I'm just saying I was ready to move on, and I did so quite politely. Okay, so anyway, I decided to switch gears and I picked up my copy of the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman by Ernest Gaines. I never read this book. Unfortunately for me, when I was in high school, thinking off the top of my head, in the 11th grade, we were reading The Necklace, you know, something boring like The Necklace. I would have much preferred to have given, you know, the opportunity to read the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman and been able to write a paper about that instead. But anyway, I took this moment to pick it up and read it for #ReadSoLit, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. To me, you know, all things aside, I'm one of those people that I can listen to elders talk all day, and this is a book filled with a lot of that kind of conversation about life, living, and facing adversity because of your pigmentation. Okay. And I mean some crazy stuff. I'll get into that later if you're not familiar with the book, I suppose. But the book opens up with the story of a young slave girl named Dilsey on a plantation in Louisiana. She is given orders by her mistress, the mistress of the house. Child, you know, they always are high strung and crazy. You ever read? Never. Okay, I'm gonna side. I can't side talk. But the point is that she is given orders by her mistress to give water, because it's the Southern way, to every soldier who's coming along the path through, you know, past their plantation, the road. And that goes for Confederate soldiers as well as the Northerners, the Yankees. But anyway, Dilsey gives water, of course, to the Confederate soldiers who are worn out and beaten and who are pretty much on the carrying the thought that they might as well just set all the slaves free because they were sick of fighting. Nonetheless, we'll get into that some other video. She then gives water to a troop of Northern or Yankee soldiers, and this is where she runs into a soldier named, I think he was either a colonel or a general, named Brown. And Brown, of course, takes his cup of water from her, and or gourd, and he gives her the name. He changes her name to Jane Brown, and this slave girl named Dilsey, she internalizes that, and it glows within her spirit because it is a sign of her upcoming freedom to have a name of her own. Of course, this upsets the mistress of the house, and she proceeds to have Jane beaten, but Jane is not going to give up her name. And so moving forward, freedom is announced. The slaves are free, and that is when she decides that her path is going to be to go north to Ohio to follow in the footsteps or follow behind this soldier who has given her the name of Jane Brown. Okay, so from that point, what is so great about this book is, first of all, Miss Jane Pittman lived a long time. So we get to look at not only just her personal life, growing from a young slave who was pretty much orphaned and raising another orphan slave as she proceeded north. We get not only just her personal life, but all the things she has seen as it regards the Reconstruction years, living on a plantation while having freedom as a sharecropper, and as well as the earlier years of the civil rights movement. We get to see all of that in the span of this particular book, seen through her eyes and with her own wisdom and her own intellect and her own thoughts. No matter how limited it may appear, you know, you cannot take away the wisdom of someone, you know, who has lived life, because life is probably like the biggest lessons that we are given or taught. And that's what made me really love the book, because I'm one of those people, like, I can sit down and talk to my elders all day long. Well, I won't say all day, but, you know, when they start repeating themselves, that's when it's probably like time to, like, you know, move. But I do love that. I do enjoy sitting down with older people and getting that bit of wisdom. So with that said, I thoroughly enjoyed the book. Like I said, I enjoyed it for both the personal internal story of Miss Jane Pittman and what she went through, as well as how it slowly, kind of progressively, bubbled up the whole grassroots efforts of the civil rights movements that was started to slowly take place throughout the century that she was alive.